I actually do have to start dieting again because, like, for the last 6 months, I've just been a fat shit and doing whatever I wanted. And then that culminated in this weekend. I ate like half a pizza myself, but
Just half?
just half
For the whole weekend?
half in one day. And then the next day, I had cold pizza, and I'm like, holy fuck, this is so good. And it made me think, like, not counting fermented food, pizza must be one of the only foods that gets better when you just like let it go for a day. Like,
Yep.
is there any other food that just gets better when you don't eat it?
Other than like a soup, I would. Denny says no.
No, cold pizza's garbage.
Oh boy.
Oh shit.
Now,
You're-
no. Let me slide in here really quick. Let me go ahead and redeem you because there is a way to do so. Cold pizza can turn into something far greater than fresh, like out of the box pizza. Okay, let's say you get some Domino's or whatever. You eat that shit. It's not bad. You put a couple slices away for later. You take those slices out of the fridge or the oven or whatever. Throw them on a frying pan on high. Put like just a baby's butthole worth of oil on there, like just a tiny amount of like olive oil or something. Stir the pizza around in there a little bit on both sides. Leave it in there for like a minute and a half. Take that shit out. I promise you, it tastes better than when it came out the box.
I completely agree with you, and I do enjoy a reheated piece of pizza, but I guess I still like. For me, it's like the process of transformation. Like, you know how there's something still beautiful about death, even though we only know life. It's like there's something
Sure.
still delicious about cold pizza, even though it was once hot. Like I like that like how you get a fresh pizza, right? And the smell is just fucking intoxicating. And the cheese is melting, and the meat has like oil and it's still kind of like sizzling, like, oh fuck, this is so good. And you eat it, it's delicious. The next day you wake up and it's cold. It's kind of solidified, a little bit of congealed. I don't know, it's like all of a sudden it's like some kind of portable lasagna thing, and it's like it's an entirely different dish, but it's the exact same thing it was yesterday.
Yeah, man.
I
I
think
can
it's
definitely tell you used to weigh like 300 fucking pounds. That's so crazy. Holy shit. That's so
it's
crazy.
it's super highly dependent on the pizza too.
Of course.
Case
Yeah, as
in
all things.
point, fucking Little Caesars,
Love
the
it.
hot and ready $5 or $4 pizzas or whatever. You
Yep.
buy one of those, straight out the oven. They're fucking dog shit.
Nope,
let 'em
nope,
cool
they're-
down.
They're incredible as long as you eat them in the first 15 minutes they're out the oven.
I
After that, they turn into John
completely.
Carpenter's The Thing.
I will fight you on this.
You
I
have 45 seconds to eat it before it goes bad.
No. I
Yeah.
think you have like 45 minutes before you eat it before it goes bad. And if it's too hot, it's fucking disgusting. If it's too cold, there's nothing you can, like, once it reaches a certain point to where it's like
The optimal Little Caesars.
the optimal Little Caesars temperature. Be too hot, you can't fucking eat it. And if you let it cool down too far, there's no bringing it back. It's like
Yeah.
it's like uranium. You can't bring it back to a
Yeah.
point where it's like usable. Swear to God. But there are other
Yeah, me and
pizzas
my-
where you can
Yeah,
like
me and my friends used to call it little Skeezers hot and sweaty, and that really kind of does it.
yeah. I mean, because there are some pizzas they're great through and through, like piping hot, room temperature, out of the fridge, and then reheated. There are certain ones that can do that, and they're very hard to find, but they're out there. And I would even say some frozen pizzas can be that way too. But
Oh, I haven't had an oven. Yeah, I don't think I've made a frozen pizza in probably a little over a decade.
Do you want to know the fattest thing I ever did? So
Yeah.
I was never a
not the
pizza
badass mother 4,000.
something like that. I would like get off work, and those Tostino's party pizzas that are a fucking $1. And the sauce on those, by the way, is not real sauce. It's corn syrup, which I found out. I was still fat at the time, and I read it. I'm like, there's not even sauce in this bitch. I would make 2 of those. and then put them on top of each other and eat it like a
Okay.
sandwich.
Yeah, we're chilling, bro. Yeah, I also did that. Yeah, we're chill.
I like those fucking Tostino's party pizzas though. That's what. It's probably why I have cancer. I fucking ate so many of those.
There is something empowering about going to the cash register with like 19 of those things behind you and just handing the person like a $10 bill and somehow it covers all of it. Like, it's insane.
It's like the banquet meals you buy at fucking Walmart, 2 for $1, and it's like, fuck yeah, I got 15 fucking meals for $8. Let's go.
The problem with me is I'll eat them all in 2 days.
I know, that's what happens, because there's no substance in there and you're still hungry after you eat them.
Yeah, I remember the first time I found out about like cup of noodles, like ramen.
Oh.
And I was my brother brought it home one day and he's like, try this. And I'm like, damn, this is delicious. And he goes, yeah, I'll buy you some next time. I'm like, is it expensive? He goes, no. I'm like, okay. So I thought like, oh, it's probably like $1 a cup because, you know, I'm like a kid.
Right.
So one day I'm like a little older and I'm walking, through Walmart or whatever. And I see it and I'm like, oh, snap, I'm going to buy a couple of these. And I see it's 10 cents a pack. And I'm like, what? There's no way. This must be mismarked or something. And I bring it up to the register, and the lady at the register starts pushing them through. And the whole time I feel like Danny Ocean, like my fucking brow is sweating. I'm like pulling off a major heist. And she's like, all right, that'll be like $6. And I have a whole cart of the fucking things. I'm like, let's go. And I fucking drove home, and I promise you, I ate like 10 pounds of ramen in the next week, dude. I got so sick of it, but it was so good.
There's so at the dollar stores, they have the one. Have you ever seen the like cup of noodles, but they're in like square black trays?
I have.
Yes.
There's a certain brand that comes with like actual oil, not just like a seasoning packet, and you can buy them at the dollar store. I fucking lived on those things in college. Like, they're so amazing. And what I would do, cook them just like you normally would, and then take a cast iron skillet, throw them in there, fry them up like hot. Oh my fucking God.
Okay.
It was amazing.
This reminds me of...
Good.
Well, do you guys remember there used to be some big how-to channel on YouTube, and they would do how-to videos for everything? And I forget what they were called, but it was like you would search for anything. Isn't that the dude who makes those fucked up videos?
Yeah.
I think
he cracks an egg over his foot or something.
So, if I remember, I think he was parodying those. So, like, as you would search shit, and you would find like, if you search how to anything, you found this channel, and they had them for everything. But they had a cooking, like a guy in their cooking series who did ramen packets, and his thing was always like, all right, first thing we're gonna do when you're cooking with me is we're gonna toss out the sauce packet. And he would throw the seasoning out, and he would make like weird, like he would put like spaghetti sauce on them or put cheese and shit in them. Be like, we're making our own custom ramen. Like, it was like to teach you how to cook. Yeah. And it was the most retarded stonerish shit I've ever seen in my life, but I used to love those.
Do you remember the hood noodles we used to make at your...
We used to make so much shit. I used to make Kool-Aid with like a half pound of sugar in it,
dude,
and a whole thing of lime juice.
You're the one. Okay, I didn't realize like how like not from money we were until like later on in life, when I asked somebody about putting cream cheese on toast. They're like, why wouldn't you just put it on a bagel? And I was like, what the fuck is a bagel?
We had expired bread because my mom worked at the food pantry. Like, I didn't have like food. Otherwise.
I go over to Slick's house for a sleepover, and we wake up and we do toast with cream cheese, and it's like, huh? All right, yeah, this is fucking great. And everybody's like, well, anybody, have you ever had cream cheese on toast? And they're like, that's not a fucking thing.
Right, white people don't eat white bread.
Yeah.
Because they have too much money.
Yeah.
They eat fake wheat.
Yeah, see, this is like the opposite of what would happen in my house because, you know, I have like foreign parents, so my mom would like make homemade bread. And I'm pretty sure both of you have had it. It's like, it's fucking godlike. Like, it's go.
Yeah.
And so everyone's like, you got to try Panera or you got to try the fucking whatever at Starbucks or whatever. And so I go and I get it. I'm like, man, this shit is ass. I'm paying
Dude, it
$7 for a toasted bagel with cream cheese and like pepper flakes on it. I can go home and get this shit homemade fucking 10 times better. So I'm a little spoiled in that sense. However, back to the ramen thing. I what I did one time, and I always do it now. Anytime I start boiling ramen, I'll also get a frying pan up and running, and I don't throw my noodles in there. I may have to try that at some point, but I'll throw 2 eggs in there and I'll scramble them, and then I'll throw that in with my ramen. And if I have any spam, I'll fry some spam up too and throw that shit in there, bro. I'm telling you, it's like it feels like you're a soldier in Vietnam. Like it's so fucking good eating that shit. It literally fills you with like a sense of like aggressive patriotism and the need to conquer other
Right.
lands for dominion.
The pro maneuver with that is to actually make the eggs in the soup as you're fucking cooking the noodles. And you
How would you do that though?
so while you're boiling, because you're supposed to leave the water in as soup.
Yeah.
So like when you're done and you crack the eggs in and stir them as the water boils, it cooks the eggs. It's like egg drop soup.
Oh, like in the bowl you mean, or like in the actual,
noodles
like,
while you're boiling.
pot?
Yeah, in the pot while you're
So maybe
boiling.
I just have to use less water then, because I use a ton of water and I usually drain like a half of it or 3/4 of it.
Yeah,
I'll try
you would
that
use
too.
use less water. I'm on like the designer diet noodle tip right now. So like there's this whole like diet culture is huge in Korea particularly. So they have fuck tons of these cup noodles that are like low calorie and they're rice noodles, so there's like no gluten. And I have a crate of them. I just ate some actually right before we did this. I ate cup noodles.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll never escape that.
Yeah, I have a big casket of like not high end because I don't think they exist, but like decent like mid-size cup noodles in my basement. And as honor of this episode, I'll make some after we're done. That shit sounds good right now.
Dude, noodles always hit the fucking spot.
I had my daughter try some cup noodles the other night, and she was way into them. Except she had to do the roach gigs and pick the vegetables out. So
That's tight.
Yeah, no peas in my fucking noodles. Fuck peas, dude. Fuck peas in general. I'm not down with peas. I'll eat a lot of things, dude. I've eaten living shit out of the ocean. I hate peas.
Yeah.
I'll eat bloodworm before I eat fucking peas.
I hate peas. They're so fucking gross.
Peas are not bad. You know what fucks me up is I've never been a big fan, and it sucks too because it's in like every meal from like like Chinese or like fusion places. I do not like fucking
Cilantro?
what is that shit called? No, zucchini.
Oh, zucchini.
I cannot stand. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
I can't really fuck with
I mean,
zucchini. But like snow peas, I fuck with. Snap peas are really good, especially the frozen ones. I'll eat those as a snack sometime.
Those are fine.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with any of them.
I don't mind some of those, but yeah, like the regular fucking canned peas or like your traditional what you would see in your school lunch peas.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, those are not good.
I guess
yeah.
I lied. Wasabi peas, where they're like dried out and crispy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I do. I
Those
would
are-
fuck with
those
those.
are-
Those are fucking
Those are
good.
goated.
They
Man,
eat those by the bag.
The tier list of vegetables really sways wildly back and forth depending on like how it's prepared and everything, huh?
Right.
Because like I don't like frozen carrots too much, or like just like room temperature carrots. But when you fucking throw those things in some fried rice or onto a stir fry, I'll fucking devour them.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
The crazy chemical reaction and how it like pulls out all the sugar on the carrots. Yeah, I can't eat like one straight out of the ground or even like baby bagged carrots or whatever, but
Yeah.
if you like chop them up and fry them, the way they like it pulls all that sugar out and like makes it more palatable.
There's some actual science behind that, specifically with carrots and something else, where like mild cooking, so don't overcook them, but actually makes them more available for humans to digest. You get more nutrients actually out of them cooked than you would raw.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the fiber or sugar. It's something to do where when you cook them, you're actually able to get a higher nutrient content out of them, or if cooking causes them to do release something. But yeah, it's carrots specifically, because I like cooked carrots a lot.
Yeah. Earlier this week, my neighbors behind us have like their whole yard is a garden, and I tried for the first time raw okra. Ooh,
I don't know that I've even ever eaten okra. Maybe in something.
I don't know what okra is. I'm sure I've probably eaten it at some point, but I
because we're
can't
white.
put
yeah.
a face to the name.
It's definitely not like this region thing. Like it's more of a southern thing, but they had two different types of okra, and man, I didn't realize, like, it's so good. It's awesome. And especially, well, maybe I'm a little biased because, like, I got neighbors that are, like, growing it. Like, they had, like, 15 plants of it. And they're like, yeah, take whatever you want. Here you go.
It sounds cliche, but there is something about, like, fresh, home-cooked, like, veggies that's different. I made my own hot sauce last year out of peppers, and it's just, like, it just tastes so good. I don't know how to describe it. Like, the flavor is just, it's richer, and it's hard. Like, I mean, I get it. A lot of the stuff you get in the store has been, what's the, not mass produced and not factory farmed, but it's like, I don't know that the soil rotation and stuff is, you know, that good on these kind of farms, and that, you know, they grow the things that have the highest yield regardless of flavor, whereas I'm just growing one plant for myself. So
Right.
Well, yeah, during times of splendor in my household, my parents would literally refuse to eat store-bought tomatoes. And I'm not a huge fan of tomatoes, like unless it's on like a burger or like, you know, some other dish. But even I can appreciate the difference between like a store-bought tomato and one picked from a farm, or even better, my mom used to fucking have a garden in her backyard and she would just plant wild tomatoes and then just grab the good ones. It's like night and day. Like the shit you buy at the store literally tastes like it's coated in plastic.
Right.
And then the shit you grow yourself, or the stuff that you get from a farm, is like infinitely better. Same with peppers too.
Good chance it probably literally is waxed. I know they do that with a lot of fruit. They wax them.
Well, it's the the fucking coating or whatever that they ship it in, right? That shit gets stuck to it during like the temperature shifts or whatever.
Yeah, and it keeps it fresher a little bit longer, keeps it from discoloring because people won't eat it if it does. So
yeah, that's one thing I want to just shout out white people again for being so dumb that they refuse to eat peppers that have lost their natural color. Like, you think if it's red or green it's going to taste better? They're the fucking same thing, you absolute whatever.
For the most part. Because what gets me at the store when I see people buy bananas, like, I get it if you buy green bananas because you need to let them sit for a while, but I see people who refuse to buy bananas that have brown spots when that's when they're the best to fucking eat.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about the bananas in the U.S. because I was watching a bunch of shit. There's like 500 varieties of fucking banana in Asia, and I was like watching these videos about them all this week because I'm a fucking autist. So I was like looking at all the bananas I want to try someday. but the main, like, whatever it's called, like the Cavendish that you get in the U.S. is they're only good for like a short time when they start to brown is when they're the best. And then before that, they're not quite ready.
Did you know that the Laffy Taffy banana flavor is based on a banana that's no longer like in rotation?
That's what started me on my journey. And it is. It is.
Man,
you can get it in Malaysia.
Oh, really? I thought it was just straight up extinct.
Nope, it still exists. It's pretty hard to find. Apparently you can get it from private growers in places like Florida and stuff, but it's really, really hard to actually get in a market.
Damn, you told me I need a banana guy to get some fucking
land? That's what I'm saying. So that's what started me on this whole journey, because I had talked about this before, because I was like, I fucking hate fake banana flavor like Laffy Taffies and shit, but I love bananas. I eat bananas every day. I have a shake with bananas in every single day, so I'm like, why do I not like banana candy? And then I found that no, it was like this was common in the Victorian era, and this candy recipe is based on the flavor of that banana, which died out in the U.S. to like disease or something in like the 50s or 60s, something like that. And because we had, monoculture, we'd only planted that banana everywhere, and then disease wiped it out. So they quickly replaced it with the Cavendish, which we have now. So I was searching about it, and then I found like places like Indonesia, Myanmar, the Philippines, they have like 200 fucking varieties of bananas that grow there, and they're all a little bit different. And there's ones that like they taste like everything. Like they can just taste like they can grow them, and they'll fucking, some will taste like peanut butter, some will be like super sweet. Like they just have all these different flavors. Some are blue. Like,
Yeah,
I fucking want to eat all these bananas. Like that's my new life mission, is to taste every banana that exists.
have a
You're really
banana
just
from
one
every
step removed
continent.
from monkeys, man.
I'm returning to monkey.
You know what fucks me up is, and I know, people change or whatever, but when I was young, even as like a baby, I hated cucumbers and I hated pickles. And I don't know what happened, but somewhere around like 21 or 22, I just like it was like calling to me. So I just had a sandwich somewhere, and the person was like, "You want a pickle on the side?" And it was like a Pavlovian response. I just said yes, and I nodded. And I was like, "Why did I do that?" And then I tried it, and I haven't been able to look back since. Now I'll easily go through like a jar of pickles like once a month.
I think I was the
And
same age as you when I discovered I love like pickles and shit. No.
yeah, pickles, cucumbers, like I can't get enough now. So I attribute it to smoker's appetite, because I smoked cigarettes for most of my teenage adolescence, and I think maybe that might have warped my sense of taste. But it might also just be that I'm fat now and I like every type of food. So I don't know.
That's it.
There's very few things I'll turn down.
For me, when I was fat, I actually probably had the least variety in my diet.
Yeah, same. Like when I was really heavy.
I don't count like Doritos and Ruffles as variety. So, like there's all just chips and shit. But when I actually started losing weight and I started like finding out like, holy shit, I actually like once I had cut sugar out and kind of like readjusted my taste palette, and I had like a bell pepper, and I was like, oh, that's actually pretty good. Like, it's actually good. And then I started like realizing the flavor that like pickles and mustard bring to a sandwich, because I never did. Like I how do I say I'm not retarded, but I'm retarded? Because that's what I want to
I'm retarded.
Yeah, like I guess I'm just retarded. Like I mean, I knew I knew they had flavor and you could taste them, but like I didn't. When you're always eating like I was, and everything is so sweet and full of sugar, like you don't really. You're not actually. You're just gorging. Like you're just eating and binging. You're not really tasting. And
Your
then,
body's looking for one flavor, and if it's
Right.
not sweet,
I'm just chasing a high.
yeah, exactly.
Like more or less, like
it's,
just eating.
It's like,
Yeah.
I want to do heroin,
Like
but I don't have any
like
heroin, so
Right.
I'll kind of give you a good example. I used to think I loved brisket. I was like, man, I love brisket. And then once I tried it without slathering it in like a half pound of barbecue sauce, and I didn't like it very much. And I'm like, oh, I don't like brisket. I just love slathering my food in barbecue sauce.
okay,
And so
we
when I
need
stopped
to
doing that,
call the
We need to have
immigration services, get this dude booted.
I
Like,
was gonna say we need to have an intervention.
I'll eat a good brisket and I'll enjoy it, but you can't sit here and tell me that without the barbecue sauce, it's like still like maybe I haven't ever had really good brisket.
yeah,
but I've
yeah,
been to
no,
some
you
pretty
need to
high
be
up
deported.
places.
This is bullshit.
So, like,
no,
For me, when I go to a restaurant and have brisket, I'm always disappointed. So if that's what
Yeah.
you were doing, I would see that. Like, but when like my family makes brisket, like my dad'll smoke a brisket for like over 8 hours. Like it'll take seriously over 8 hours all day, and he'll smoke it. That shit is so fucking good. It's like another level,
dude.
I love it.
Salt and pepper. The longest one I've ever smoked. I think it was
6 years.
after I trimmed it, and got it down to like a decent weight. It was like 16 hours.
Holy shit.
Just salt and pepper. It was the most delectable thing I've ever done. It
I
was
think it's almost legal at that point. That's crazy.
It was fucking, yeah, it was insane. But all I do is salt and pepper. Don't wrap it. Don't do anything. Just throw it on the smoker. Let it ride. And it was amazing.
But
No barbecue sauce. I if anybody even attempted to grab a thing of barbecue sauce out of the fridge, I would have kicked him out of my goddamn
16
house.
hours
Yeah.
making it, and someone just lathers it in Casey's or
You
something.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
But I actually do agree on like the restaurant part, because like every time I go to a barbecue restaurant and then it's just like it is just like meat and barbecue sauce, and it's like, oh, this is just
it's their sauces that make the meals good, which I
Right.
respect that. Like, you know, I would argue that creating a really good sauce is an art of its own, but it does feel like a cheat code when it comes to your actual food, because your food should still taste good without the sauce, and then adding the sauce on like finishes the process. But I've been a little disappointed with some of my things. Let me make you guys really mad. So when I was young, I used to love beef, especially steak. And then something happened around the age of like 12 or 13. Maybe it's a repressed traumatic memory or something. But now I cannot for the life of me stand steak. I can't eat. I basically can't eat beef unless it is, I would say, like usually well done or higher. Like medium well to well done, depending on the place that makes it, even homemade. I'll have like the juiciest looking steak in front of me. I'll take one bite and I'll start gagging.
Oh, dude, you you definitely there's something going on, and you need to see a you need to seek psychiatric help.
I think so too, because
but
I understand that I'm missing out, and I've sort of accepted it. I've gone through the 14 steps of denial, and it's just I don't know. I think for now in my current life, I just don't get to enjoy that certain delicacy. But yeah, I can't really fuck with steak.
It's all good, you know. People like what they like, but for me, like, if you want to eat well done beef or something, then you don't want to eat steak. You just want to, like, cut some top sirloin thin and cook it up or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, people who literally go out to buy steak, go to a restaurant to have steak, and then they order it like well done or like cooked thoroughly, is a waste of the meat for me. Like,
because
you could have just ordered something different.
All the good shit.
Yeah, like for me, rare steak just like I can see the texture is off-putting to some people, but I like that. I want it still red inside. I like that flavor. I get so much more flavor out of it.
You know what it is? It's like, it's partially the texture, but it's also like, I feel like every time I take a good bite of steak, and it's like medium rare or rare, and I have to chew for like a minute before I can finally push it down my gullet. And it's like exhausting, and also I just don't like the taste. So those two things, for those two reasons,
if you don't like the taste, that's the biggest reason you'll never like it. But yeah, I mean, you can't make you like what you don't like. But yeah, I just for me, I love steak. I could live off fucking steak. I just fucking put some butter in a pan and then just fry up the sides, and then I eat it. Like, it's so good.
I had some my buddy from LA, he ordered a whole ribeye roast of A5 Wagyu recently, and holy shit, was that a life-changing experience when it comes to steak.
I'd love to try it, but
It's fucking insane. It's like a little bit of butter in every bite. Like they straight up threw it on the grill, like sliced it up thin. I mean, they were maybe 1.25 inch thick ribeyes that they cut up, and it was insane how like it just melted in your mouth. They were trimming. Some of the people that were there were like trimming pieces of fat off because they're like, I don't want to eat that. And I was like, yeah, I'll take that and put it in my mouth.
But that's like the whole point of eating that, isn't it? It's like mostly fat.
Yeah, but like with like a ribeye, they have like the eye of the steak or whatever, and people like trim that and they don't want to eat it because normally it is a little bit more tough and the texture is not like fun to deal with. But
Right.
like this one, I mean, you could literally put that piece of fat on your tongue and press it to the roof of your mouth, and it would like melt.
That's like on my bucket list to go to Japan and have like have a legit steak.
Yeah. Yeah, they flew this in, and I think for this one roast, it was like after shipping almost $2,000.
God, that's. I don't know if I could spend that much on a meal.
Yeah, I was gonna say Wagyu's the shit in Japan where they like jerk off the cows for maximum pleasure or whatever, so they die super happy, and that translates to the food.
Yeah,
right.
that's
Basically.
exactly where this came from. This wasn't like some bullshit like
Walmart.
yeah, like Wagyu.
Wow,
like
that's not. This
no,
is
no.
an
This was
unregulated industry.
they legit flew it in from Japan in like a climate controlled cooler so it wouldn't get frozen. Like they didn't just throw it on dry ice. Like it was like
It's the real shit.
it was like trimmed, or it was slaughtered, dried, or hung, dried, put in a cooler and shipped, and it was never frozen, and it was fucking insane.
Damn.
It's on my bucket list.
I'll never be able to do that again. I never would have been able to do that without my dumb friend.
I've never gotten to try that, but I have had sushi in Japan, and that's even like bumfuck gas station sushi in Japan like destroys like half the restaurant shit here.
Yeah,
it's just different. It's so good, but for some reason have developed. I really like raw fish. It's just so good, so I'm down with it.
That's another thing. I used to hate sushi, and I don't know if I used to hate it. I just never really had good sushi. And I mean, living in the Midwest, obviously there's not a lot of opportunities. But when I was in Cleveland, I don't know if there's any saltwater sources in Cleveland. I don't think there is. But either way, I finally started having it, and it's quickly snuck its way into my top 5 probably for like not expensive, but kind of like what's the word I'm looking for, like special occasion foods. Like I'll fucking just go crazy and throw like $40 at a bunch of sushi.
Back when I was dating, this was a point of contention with me when I'd meet girls, because they would always say, "Oh, I love sushi. Let's go have sushi." And then we'd go, and I would take them to a legit place run by an actual Japanese guy here, and they don't want to eat any of that shit.
Yeah,
they're looking for like the fried rolls with the fucking, which if you like, I'm not talking shit. But yeah, they want like the fried shrimp tempura rolls and stuff, and I'm like, no, this place is raw meat. Yeah. Like this is the real shit.
There's a bed of rice with a piece of salmon on top.
The dude gets his fish like flash frozen and then flown in from the coasts every day, so it's all fresh, and it's delicious. And yeah, like you find out real quick they don't actually like sushi. They like fucking Philadelphia rolls or whatever, or like California rolls.
Cream cheese and rice with
cream
a little
cheese
bit
and avocado.
a hint of tuna in there. Yeah.
Oh, it's got roe on here. That's exotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Okay.
Yeah. I don't love everything from the ocean. I got violently ill in Korea. Like, felt like I was gonna die. One time I was eating at a seaside restaurant, and when in Rome, there was the Romans, and I knew that's the number one thing you don't do when you go international is like anything uncooked or has touched water, because it's gonna have just different bacteria or
shit that you're not used to.
It's foreign to your body, so your body it's not that it's not healthy, it's not that it's dirty, it's just like it's not
your
native
body's
to
not
you.
used to it.
And I ate fucking, I don't even know what they were. One was bloodworm, one was I ate squid and octopus that were like whole and like still alive. And then it's like, you have to chew it really bad, because if you don't kill it, it'll kill you. When you swallow it, it'll grab inside your throat. And I it was like noon, and I was like, I had to take a few shots because I was like, fuck, I don't know. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. And I did it, and then I was fine. I went about the rest of my day, and then like I was in the south of the country, the ocean, and the next day I had to go north to Seoul. So we flew to Seoul, and then I was like at a buffet stuffing my face, and I got sick. So I'm like kind of thinking it was from the buffet, but then I started vomiting my brains out on the streets of Seoul. And we got in the subway, and I just remember like it felt like a movie where somebody's like lost, and like that you see shit just like spinning around, and there's like all these weird transitions.
Like The Void. Have you ever seen that one?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
But like it just felt like I was fucking like lost, and everything was spinning around. We're on the subway, and things are going a million miles an hour around me, and I'm just like, oh my god, I gotta get off. Next stop, I got off and just started vomiting everywhere. Found a public restroom, just vomiting diarrhea everywhere. I'm like, this is fucking horrible. And it got so bad, I could barely move. We found like a hotel in an alley where I went to stay and tried to like sleep it off. And I was just up all night vomiting into a garbage bag, and like had to go to see a doctor the next day and get basically fluids put back in me because I was so dehydrated. I felt like death.
That sounds tight.
It was horrible. I had to take like antibiotics. Probably ivermectin. I had to take some like anti-parasitic, so
yeah,
just in case, because I was eating live shit out of the ocean.
That seems to be like a recurring pattern in Asian cuisine, is like if you don't eat this right, it'll kill you. So it's like a fight between like you and the actual food.
Can be.
And I wonder if that's like a cultural thing, or if they're just so bored over there that they're like, you know what, gotta spice up the life.
No.
I don't know.
Put
actually,
it all at risk.
I'll interject because I had basically the same experience this past weekend, eating something I've eaten 100 times before.
Chicken nuggets?
Almost.
Oh.
But even better. They're about the size of a chicken nugget. We were out hunting west, and we shot some mourning doves and cleaned them. And then that afternoon we cooked them for dinner. And my buddies, they're not like, they love hunting wild game, but they're not really into eating it. I love dove. I think it's amazing. Super.
Yeah, the chocolate and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the inspirational messages inside the foil.
Yeah. As you peel the skin back, it says, "You're more than worth it." But we had I don't know, probably 8-10 doves that we cleaned up and
Jesus,
breasted them out and threw them. I mean, they're tiny. So think about that. That's like 16 chicken nuggets.
Yeah, they're
essentially. They're pretty small.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, there's not much to them, but we threw them on the grill. We cooked them, and they had like 1 or 2 apiece, and they're like, I can't really deal with this. And I was like, these are fucking awesome. I don't know what you guys are talking about. So I ate the rest of them. Yesterday, I woke up at like 4:30 in the morning, vomiting, fucking sick out of my mind, and then shitting. And the only reason I knew it was these doves is because my fucking diarrhea smelled like a slough that these fucking doves came out of. Like,
oh shit!
It was, but they're the most delicious little morsels of bird meat you could ever think of. It's so delicious. But that's I've eaten that 100 times before, and I mean, it just kind of snuck up on me, I guess. Maybe it was just too much.
Yeah,
I indulged too much.
one not quite cooked.
Right.
One that was feeding on tapeworms in a
could have been.
Like,
hopefully it's a diet program I can get with.
South Beach.
Not to sound like Prince, but can doves fly? Like, are they flightless or?
No, they fly. They fly fast.
They fly? Okay.
Not
I have a
fast
theory that anything that has wings and is able to go into the air for more than like 5 seconds, like a chicken, is not supposed to be ingested by humans, because that is like God's teaser. He's like, oh ho ho, it's so delicious, but you can't get it because you can't fly. And then we're like, oh yeah, AR-15 crossbow, rock, like dexterity. And suddenly we're eating these things, and he's like, well, that's not good. Let's see how you like this. And then he just gives you diarrhea.
I mean, that could totally be possible. But I will continue to shoot those things out of the air and continue to eat them. They're so delicious. I'll deal with the fucking diarrhea.
It seems kind of unfair that there's like, all right, so you think of like land animals that we eat. Cows are like enormous, right? Like a fully grown cow is like huge, like a sow, right? And then like shit that we eat out of the ocean. I know a lot of people eat like shark fin soup and all this other like that shit. Those things are fucking huge. Or like even some tuna can be like what, like 300 fucking pounds.
Giant.
There's no equivalent to anything like that that's airborne. Like the biggest thing you can eat from the sky, what would it be, like a fucking heron? Those probably don't even taste good.
Because we eat all the dragons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to eat a fucking dragon's wing, bro. Like I want dragon chicken wings. Okay. And it's not fair that they don't exist.
Do you know what the common crane is? Like,
yeah,
sure.
Like big, like 4 or 5 foot tall creature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Those things weigh like absolutely nothing. There's nothing to them. They have
to be airborne, yeah.
Yeah, their wingspan is like 6-7 feet wide, and they weigh all of 8 pounds, maybe. They're the most delicious thing that flies. They call them the ribeye of the sky.
I've never even known anyone who's eaten crane.
Oh yeah,
that's the most baller shit I think you could do is eat crane.
We shot them like 5 years ago, and we're like, there was like a flock of them that came over. Dropped 2 of them, and my buddy's like, are we supposed to shoot these? Like, is this legal? And I was like, I have no idea. And we did a quick Google search, and it's like, oh, yeah, no, these things are delicious. Let's keep them. And fuck, it was so awesome.
No, you didn't search if it was legal or not. You searched if they were edible.
Yeah. We found out after we cooked them, like, oh, yeah, we're
oh, this is a war crime.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I've shot plenty of things that we should not shoot. Fucking hawks, owls, road signs.
Bald eagles.
But no, fucking, I think your theory about things that fly being the most delicious and like tantalizing, yes. I think you're right on board. And they will fuck you up if you don't do it right.
Go to like the last unexplored island and just see a gang of dragons flying around and make that my life's mission is to just fell one of these things and then fucking cook it over a spit. It just sounds so incredible, man.
It'd be awesome.
I wonder what fucking like pterodactyl tasted like.
Oh, I know, right? That's what I'm saying. Dinosaurs are the closest that you can probably get to. There must have been some we're missing. Like some of those motherfuckers must have just left the atmosphere and like we just don't know them anymore. Like there must be some crazy.
Would it be closer to like an alligator or a chicken?
Don't they say chicken is like the closest relative to like other raptors?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. But what's kind of funny about steering this towards dinosaurs is I actually had something I wanted to bring up. I was just bored at work taking a piss the other day, and I was like, I've never seen a depiction of dinosaurs fucking. Like I swear to God, I just had that thought. Like, how did dinosaurs procreate? Because you see like maybe they had retractable dicks or something, but you've never seen a depiction of a T-Rex running with his dick swinging.
Right? Do they have like a cloaca, or did they have?
What's the deal? How did pterodactyls fuck?
You ever seen a duck penis?
Yeah. They lay eggs, but they still gotta be fertilized.
Yeah, but have you seen like a Drake Mallard penis?
Is that the like corkscrew ones that can come out?
Yeah, just fucking zigzags all over the fucking place. Because the fucking female duck's vagina is a fucking maze, and no duck sex is consensual. So yeah, who knows? Maybe a dinosaur's dick was the same way.
That seems like a challenge.
Yeah, it's basically playing Zelda every time you want to have sex.
So like, have you guys ever seen that? Like, have you ever seen a scientific depiction of dinosaur
I
sex?
saw this one.
I've
Bang
never
Bros
Googled
video.
Rule 34 dinosaur.
Well, so I was just gonna say, Rule 34 Land Before Time stuff doesn't count. 'Cause that's not real.
Littlefoot, big
Yeah,
dick.
they call me Littlefoot because the size is up front.
I saw a Bang Bros video where a guy dressed up as a T-Rex and went to town on this girl. That was kind of cool.
That might count.
They call me the Mastodon because my trunk's in the front.
No, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen dinosaurs like procreating, but honestly, I could probably say that for like 90% of life on this planet. I don't think I've ever seen cows fuck.
Where have you been?
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm the bull, man. That's where I learned.
I watched
tend to
deer
keep my
fuck
eyes
in
on
my
the prize, I
backyard the
guess.
other day.
I just thought it was weird because I've never seen a depiction of any dinosaur with genitalia.
Yeah.
Like, I was just thinking about it. Like, do they shit? They piss? They fuck? I've never seen it. Not one dinosaur. You're not gonna tell me the mammoth doesn't have balls swinging down there?
Man, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Do they defecate in the same way that we understand today?
They must. I mean, I would assume they did, and I would assume they were massive shits.
Right, but like that scene in Jurassic Park where they're like, yeah, there's a massive shit. Like, is that how they evolved?
Yeah, I don't know, actually.
Like, or were they able to expel waste in different ways?
I'm 100% sure dinosaurs don't look anything like we fucking render.
Fuck
them
no,
to.
they don't.
They don't look a goddamn thing like these cool ass strongs. You know, I think
Yeah.
they're cool. So they don't look like that.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs probably look dumb as fuck. They probably look like retarded chickens. And if you saw one, you wouldn't be scared of it except for the sheer size of the damn thing. You'd be like, you are a big, ugly, dumb looking motherfucker. Like,
Bunch of fucking My Little Ponies running around.
right. I think dinosaurs are way lamer than we make them.
Probably.
And we were like, look at these fucking teeth. I'm like, my dog's got teeth like that too. Like,
Right.
It's not special.
Yeah, if it's wrapped around or if those teeth are wrapped in like a big globular bowl of shit,
Right.
like
you know, like,
they're not vicious at all.
what's the fucking, like the seagull, not the seagull, the one with the pelican. I'm going to bet velociraptors look like pelicans without the giant beak thing. Like,
Yeah.
I bet they look dumb.
Yeah.
They look fucking stupid. And they look fucking stupid, and they apparently don't have dicks. So,
Bunch of nerd looking ass cucks.
right. It's fucking disgusting ass creatures. But I do want to taste one. I
Yeah.
wish. So there is like this company that's trying to like bring back mammoths, which
I saw that.
I'm sure is a fucking brilliant idea. I can't wait till we all get some virus that was frozen inside a mammoth tissue. But I do want to taste one
Yeah, of course.
or have a pet mammoth. That would be
That'd be tight.
badass.
I wonder. Well, it'd be fuck. If you could like find one that was like flash frozen and the meat's not awful, like way down deep in a glacier.
There are people who've done that.
Oh, really?
They have, and they weren't like they would belong to some university. I don't think they were supposed to eat it, but they did cook it up and eat it. And I don't know that they said it was even good, but it was also like a fucking millennia old or whatever more
Which-
than that.
I mean, sure.
Right.
Like whatever.
It's well aged.
I just
feel
like-
even frozen.
I just feel like we're going in the wrong direction, fellas. I need this. Before I die, I need to eat out an alien. I need to.
There's a
I
ton at
could
the
give a
border.
shit what our ancestors like. I don't care. I highly doubt there's a Neanderthal out there that could get me past half chub. Like they could be in front of me doing the most crazy exotic shit I've never seen, like doing fucking like 360 flips on my
Too
dick, and I would
hairy,
just be
dude.
like, yeah, whatever. But an alien, bro. Man.
Hold on, just remind me, Neanderthal 360 flips, the strip club I went to this weekend. You can continue on.
I just want a fine alien bitch to walk up on me and say some shit like Glorkshabor, and I'd be like, yes, I'm in. And I don't care what happens to me after that, man. I need it. I need it so bad.
I can only do it if they're humanoid. I'm definitely speciesist.
Really?
I guess centaur would be okay, or like whatever. Maybe
I would say I could only
you're so
do it
close-minded.
if they were like,
Yeah.
yeah. The only way I would be able to do it is if they were like sentient, like if
No gelatinous
Like, if-
blobs. No grays.
I-
Little
I'm not-
grays
I
is
am
big-headed.
I am not
Big-headed
putting
bitches.
any physical limitations on the board. I am saying if we can have a conversation and consent can be formed, I want to taste your weird alien pussy.
What do you?
What if
and
you
vice
don't
versa.
consent?
Yeah, what are you? Some kind of homo? Like,
What do you mean? I'm some kind of what? You're
if
telling me
we
you can see the
if we can
first-
have a connection, we can be, have a conversation.
There, just so you
well,
know,
that's the
space
only
is
thing
governed.
stopping me from going out to fuck a dolphin. So I mean,
You
like, I'm not
should-
gonna fuck a
well,
dolphin.
Who's
'cause I
to
can't
say you
chat it up.
shouldn't?
Where do you think the mermaid tail came from?
Yeah, like I think dolphins would enjoy that. I bet the dolphin would fuck you first.
From what I've heard,
Probably.
dolphin pussy is the closest to human pussy there is.
Yeah, it'd be a good starting point for bestiality.
Just kind of ease into it.
That's what I'm saying. It's not
Porpoise
bestiality
pussy?
if it doesn't come from Earth.
Oh,
Well, do dolphins come from Earth? That's
yeah, go fuck an octopus.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
I
willing
get
to
what
go
you're
down
saying.
that path, but I'm
But-
also willing to say that the first bitch to pull up from Venus she's fit to get it. I don't care
So-
what size, shape, or form it is. That they could be a towering fucking tesseract that just pierces my brain by looking at it. My dick's still getting full.
You know what they say
full
about
mass.
girls from Venus, though?
I don't.
They have a penis. Sorry.
Nice.
Space is governed by maritime law. Like,
Yeah.
well, is it even? I don't know. But it's there is no real law in space. So I mean, do as you will in space. I mean, not that.
Exactly.
The first thing of intelligence that finds you is probably more advanced than us. See,
Sure.
assuming it finds you don't find it. Your consent may not be asked for.
Yeah, I was gonna
In
say,
that
That's
case.
okay. That is okay.
What
That
if
is
it's a
okay.
male?
That's okay.
Oh, if you're down with anything,
what's this?
They're alien. It doesn't
Yeah.
count.
that's true. I mean,
So it's not cheating?
it's not anything. Is it even? Fuck, I don't know. I don't really want to think
I
about
think
getting anal.
there's a
raped by
good
an
conversation to be had about both the moral and I would say sort of the responsibility that falls with the first man or woman to meet an alien race. I think you are like obviously you want to try to establish friendly contact, peace, etc. But almost immediately after that, fucking should definitely be like up there. Like it just needs to be.
alien. It would be the
Because if it feels
fuckability
good,
is. Yeah,
like
I mean,
if it feels good for both parties, that is the first thing that will achieve like fucking peace in the galaxy.
I
Rather
feel
than
like you
trade
just
or education or whatever, if we enjoy having sex with another alien species, it's like we're Gucci. We will fucking team up and conquer the rest of the galaxy.
dude, I'd move to whatever planet instantly.
feel like you're
Exactly.
just
Like that's my
describing
point.
a
Like,
first
I don't
date.
know.
Like, oh, we just need to have a conversation, make peace, and then we go fuck.
That's
Yeah.
first contact with
Yeah.
my dick.
I'm legitimately so sad that that's probably not going to happen, bro. Oh man,
You gotta join Space Force.
yeah, be a guardian.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Get on board with Richard Branson or Bezos.
they're probably. I bet you they're already fucking aliens somewhere. Doesn't that make you even
Man,
more
don't
mad?
say that, bro,
Like,
because that makes me like.
Right? Like Area 51, someone's in a consensual relationship with an alien.
Fucking conjugal visits
Yeah.
for the fucking alien.
Fucking. What about reptilians?
You want to fuck a lizard?
Yeah. Like Hillary
It
Clinton
depends. It depends.
with her mask off.
I also think there is something to be said as well. If an alien race shows up and they are, yeah, like you said, if they are infinitely more intelligent and capable than we are, I'm super down with being like a concubine for the rest of my life. That would be
Like
so
snoo
tight.
snoo.
Snooze.
Yeah, that would be
Like
so
That's the
ill.
first thing that popped in my head.
I just want to serve a higher power that also fucking will rim me and then kill me.
You're such a sub.
A little bit, yeah.
I'm more on the Captain Kirk tip with that. Like, I just want to travel around and fuck bitches.
That's fair, but you got to be realistic with it, right? Like,
It would just be what I have done my whole life, except in space.
oh, fuck. Oh, man.
Denny, did you see the update on your gunshot victim? Self-inflicted gunshot victim?
Oh, no, I didn't.
He posted it in the Discord there.
Is it in the
Imagine-
topics?
Yes.
Okay.
You might have to check that
All right,
out.
let me read this. This is my first time seeing this. Oh my god. An update to my previous post. So after shooting myself in the leg with 22 pellets, they were getting to point where most of them wouldn't break skin. So I thought I was ready to try a 22 short round, and I was very mistaken. The bullet lodged itself in the middle of my calf, and I had to go to the hospital to get it surgically removed. Worst pain in my life. It took them half an hour of cutting and digging around in there to get it out. The one nurse was a cutie pie, though, and so if I can get her number, it might have been worth it. But I think I'm done with the whole shooting myself thing. It's going to be a while before I can walk normally again, and the painkillers they gave me don't work for shit. If any of you commandos feel bold enough, though, feel free to carry on in my place. Oh my god. Holy shit. I'll be 100% honest with you. I was not expecting to hear back from this hero. Wow.
What a
That
fucking
is incredible.
what a pioneer, right? This is the true biohacker right here. Not some guy taking fucking coenzyme 10 and quercetin. The guy shooting himself to become bulletproof is the real biohacker.
That's so sick. I also noticed you posted some Martin Cabello III in there. Are you fellas aware of this guy? Because I can give you the lowdown if you'd like.
So I just searched him up after that was posted in there, and that dude is fucking insane.
He's had a very interesting life. You want to hear the lowdown?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So this dude used to be like, I want to say like 350 pounds. Used to be super fat, super depressed. He got into a car accident. Someone was driving drunk and hit him, and he had severe brain damage. And after the car accident, he started working out, losing weight, and posting online. And since then, he's kind of grown a like international audience as like a weird, like esoteric self-help type of dude. And his wife is also autistic. Oh yeah, he's autistic, by the way. His wife is also autistic. Post like the craziest shit ever online. But this dude is possibly the only case of like brain damage working out to be like a plus, because something happened up there that made him like super motivated and super ambitious.
So-
Maybe it was also like, you know, that close to being death type thing, but I like to think it was something more like more physical that happened. Yeah, Martin
Well-
Cabello was fucking crazy.
I didn't know about the brain damage because I just became aware of this fucking goober a little bit ago.
Oh yeah, I followed him on Twitter for like 4 years.
So what I found on this guy is he runs some kind of ketogenic diet service that he runs it out of his home address. And so his home address is like online. But anyway,
Yep.
I have a whole theory about people who run long-term ketogenic diets. From being into bodybuilding and powerlifting, a lot of people run these diets where they do, it's typically like zero carb, right? And you try to get in this state of ketosis where, because your body doesn't have any glucose in it, it has to produce ketones in the brain for energy. And there's no science behind this. This is just my anecdotal evidence working with and being around so many people who run this. I don't think there's any problem with doing ketogenic diets for like 6 months, maybe even a year. But I think when you get to like the 2-year plus range of like eating raw meat and egg every day and that's it. You ever been around somebody who's like heavy into like cocaine or stimulants or something?
Yep.
Yeah, and they they get like that fucking kind of weird God complex and get manic. People on ketogenic diets, not all of them, but a lot of them kind of start to get like that. They get really like this weird ego, and they start talking really fast, and it's almost like somebody on fucking drugs.
That makes sense.
And-
I knew a guy in Cleveland that was doing that for a long time. Now he was also a serious cokehead, so it might have just been like that all the time. But maybe the 1-2 punch of the the chemical shift might have had something to do with it too.
Well, and I think you got to have something else going on. So like the autism and the brain damage probably doesn't help.
Sure.
But
Or does it?
I think, well, you never know, because I see like the dudes
Everything's
hardcore.
relative.
I think that being hardcore into keto, this is just my hot take, but I really think in like 10, 15 years, you're going to find out that it does something bad to your brain after a certain amount of time. I mean, I think in short bursts, and even maybe up to like a year and a half, you'll probably never notice anything. But I think you just hit a point where, I don't know what it is, but you're taxing your brain too much, and you have like no fucking glucose or whatever. Like you're never feeding yourself carbs. So I don't know, because I don't have the science to prove what I'm saying. I just think I think I'm right because I've seen it. People start just getting like, they act like cokeheads is the only way I can describe it when they go on keto for too long. Like have no carbs in their life.
As a response to that, and this is just for us, the people at home won't be able to see that, but I just posted a video showing you the progress you can make on that type of diet. Go ahead and watch that little 4-second clip there.
Fucking how do I open this up to show? Not that it's of any value.
No.
But it's what the fuck is he doing?
It's his cock.
Well, I get that, but like it's like literally like cocking.
Look, man,
cock.
Yeah.
He's happy. That's all that matters, is he's happy now. So
to each their own.
like whether it's the ketosis or the brain damage or the autism finally taking full effect, I don't know. But
So I searched his name and I found that he's been like harassing his neighbors and calling them all pedophiles and then like posting their addresses online. So I'm like, this dude needs to be dealt with. Like, I don't know how they just take that out of God.
because look at him, bro. He's ready to take on
He's
anything.
fucking ripped.
I know he's fucking what a Looney Tune. But he probably maybe he knows the truth. Maybe we're all asleep. I don't know.
On the topic of like fucked up brains and chemicals, have you guys noticed, I know around here, I work in the car industry, so it's very apparent to me, but the rash of stolen catalytic converters.
Yeah, we had a whole bunch stolen off our fleet vehicles from work and stuff. And like
I was hearing
people stealing
about
tires
something
too,
like
though, and
that,
everything.
but
Like
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it. Yeah.
So, okay, I just saw a little video the other day. So, catalytic converters, they like filter exhaust fumes from vehicles. And
I thought
they
that was
use,
the thing that lets Transformers turn into like robots.
oh, I don't know nothing about that.
roll out.
All right, go on.
But they're very expensive because they use a lot of platinum and silver in them to like filter out the exhaust. Apparently, in like, I don't know if it's West Africa or whatever, these guys are stealing catalytic converters and pulling out the platinum and the silver, and it's like in like a honeycomb form, and they crush it up and they fucking smoke it.
Oh shit!
No shot.
Literally smoking platinum? No, that's ballin'.
Fucking baller
That's-
shit.
That's the most fucking gangster drug I've ever heard of. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you smoke crack? I smoke platinum. Homie smoke. It's like people who have to have like gold flakes in their ice cream
Yeah.
and shit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm eating gold. Like, yeah, I'm smoking platinum. Like,
You smoking mids, I'm smoking platinum. No joke. And I'm not sure if it's like made it to the US or
well, like Jankum, it probably won't. Which is,
oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like you're smoking on that K2. I'm smoking on that PT, bro. You don't stand a chance.
So
Holy shit.
but I was wondering because like one of the dudes I work with, he like buys and sells like junk cars all the time, and he'll buy like a scrap car that's like sitting on the side of the road, cut the cat off, and then sell the car for scrap, and he'll get his money back, and then sell the cat for $200, $300 to $1,000. And I'm like, who the fuck is buying this shit? Like, I feel like you can't like the recycling process for platinum to like get all those
it would be
insane. So my only conclusion is there are people here now fucking mixing that because it gives you the same effects as like heroin or
Oh shit! Making drugs out of catalytic converters.
yeah, they're cutting it
Oh.
instead of buying like what's Chinese fentanyl
Right.
or buying heroin.
Just steal a catalytic converter.
Yeah, and just cut it with that.
That I'm intrigued.
I've done no research. I watched about a 4-minute video on it. This is the conclusion I came up with. I have no information to back this up, but I would not be surprised if that's why there was a huge spike this past year in like catalytic converters being stolen, mixed and cut with like Chinese fentanyl or heroin.
That'd be so.
You said there's silver in there too?
Yeah, I think there's platinum and silver.
Could be a good vampire defense mechanism as well then.
Oh, that's true.
Well, right. Like, what if
Fucking
there's
ping pong tables?
So what if we're just not aware of this secret vampire invasion and the resistance is stealing catalytic converters?
All the fucking junkies are aware of what's going on, and
How come those aren't track marks? They're fang. Daywalkers.
you got a fucking blade out there with a sawzall
And no teeth.
and no teeth.
Dude's being arrested. He's like, no, you have to listen. I haven't done a crack in 40 years. It's vampires.
That'd be so sick. A Blade remake and he's in like a cut off flannel shirt. No teeth.
Crawling under a car
Just
at
one-
2:00 in the morning with a cordless sawzall.
One fang.
Yeah.
Ray Charles sunglasses. He fucking sawing catalytic converters up to make anti-vampire implements.
Fucking Chris Christopherson just in the background singing some bullshit song.
Have to steal cars to fight the vampires.
Some super beat up fucking hooker shows up that if you look hard enough sideways squinting kind of looks like Jessica Biel.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And then Ryan
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 Reynolds
Reynolds
is
is in
just
there
Ryan
and
Reynolds.
yeah, he'll just work in anything, so it doesn't matter. He'll just do that. He's making his stupid fucking jokes.
I'm waiting for the Van Wilder reboot.
Oh,
Speaking of movies, I watched a horror movie the other night that I love horror movies. They're like my top genre as far as like really good movies I like to watch. And I don't know if you guys know who James Wan is, the director. But he's the guy who made the first Saw movie. He made like the Conjuring
Saw Wan?
series. So yeah, James Wan. So he's like very, very famous in Hollywood. And he was so famous that they needed a director for Fast and the Furious 7. So the one before, actually 2 before this most recent one. And that was like one of the best received ones out of this new era where it's like superheroes basically instead of just driving.
The keys to the
And-
car were in Vin Diesel's anus. And somebody had
Yeah.
to grab them.
So he did a really good job. So he became really like sought after. And at some point in there, he hashed out a deal with Warner Brothers. He's like, look, I'll make this multi-billion-dollar movie for you, but I need like 50 million to make my own thing. And they're like, okay, no problem. And so he put out this horror movie called Malignant. And I just watched it with me and my boys the other night on Discord. And holy fuck. I have never seen a movie. First off, it's not scary. I would even argue it's not very good. But it has possibly the best twist and as a result, best climax of any horror, thriller, action, whatever movie I have seen in a very long time.
Better than Chubby Checker squirting?
Potentially better than Chubby Checkers squirting, yeah.
Do you get it?
I don't want to spoil anything for anyone out there, but it's just like
twisting climax.
I was.
Okay, sorry.
I got it.
Okay. I couldn't let that one pass.
So you did the Chubby Checkers joke, but when you said twist and climax, I was gonna say sounds like duck sex, but I didn't want to interrupt.
If you're where I was and you're halfway through this movie and you're like, this shit blows, and you don't have a group of friends to watch it with, I promise you, just keep watching, because at some point, it genuinely gets so fucking ridiculous. Okay, so this is the spoiler mark. I'm going to spoil this movie. If either of you wanted to watch it, go fuck yourselves, because I need to talk about this just to get your reactions. All right, so spoilers from this point onward for probably like 5 minutes. Anyway, here's the sort of synopsis of the movie. Lady is in a horrible relationship with her boyfriend. She's pregnant. And she gets like some horrible she gets into an argument with her boyfriend, and he like shoves her against a wall and her head cracks on the wall, and her baby gets lost in all this process. She gets sent to the hospital, whatever. Her boyfriend gets killed by some like horrible demon or some shit, and she sees it happen. And obviously the cops don't believe her. No one believes her, whatever, because, you know, it just looks like a classic case of like someone broke in or whatever.
It sounds like a white chick dating a blood.
Kind of, yeah. Throughout the rest of the movie, all these people around her, these doctors that she used to know when she was a kid, keep getting killed by this horrible demon. And you learn more about the main character. She was adopted. Prior to being adopted, she was in this like school where they do reconstructive surgery on kids, because she had some weird thing, and it's not really explained, but it just kind of talks more about it. And so eventually you find out that the horrible demon thing is actually a parasitic twin that she was born with that lives in the back of her skull. And once her boyfriend cracked her head on the wall, that part of her skull opened back up, because they managed to like stuff it in there and basically just keep it in there as a kid. But once her skull got cracked open, this parasitic twin started coming out, and I legit shit you not, he turns into John Wick. And the last 25 minutes of the movie is her, but it's her parasitic twin, walking around backwards because he's covering the back half of her body, and just killing like an entire police station, Terminator style, in like the best action sequence I've ever fucking seen. But it's so funny because he does everything backwards because he's attached to the back of her body. So he's wearing like a trench coat the wrong way because he's walking backwards, and he's wearing shoes in reverse. And so he's like taking steps backwards, but he's doing like kung fu and shit. And it's all practical effects. I don't know how James Wan pulled this off, but it's seriously like, it's the sickest scene of any movie I've ever seen. Dude, it's so incredible, man. Like you need to just find the last 10 minutes of that fucking scene, and it's just so sick. Man, I can't believe that movie exists. I'm so happy Hollywood just lets people do whatever they want when they have enough money.
I'll watch the end, but I probably won't watch the whole movie.
Yeah, I love good horror movies. That is not a horror movie, nor is it particularly good. But the last 20 minutes or so are desperately in need of more attention. It's so sick. And the crazy part is it has like raving reviews everywhere. And I'm like, these critics must be stoned out of their fucking mind watching this thing, because I can only imagine if I was drunk or high, this would be the greatest movie of all time. But unfortunately, I was sober at the time of viewing.
Sounds interesting. If I ever find time to fucking watch it, I will. But
I'll see if I could track down a clip or something and send it to you guys, because it's just so insane.
I did not watch any movies this week, but I did revisit something from my past, and I'm actually gonna see if you guys. I don't think you guys can guess. I don't know if it's possible to guess what I listen to. So I was listening to music, and it's something I haven't listened to since I was a teenager. The only thing I'll tell you is it's nu metal, which is the much maligned nu metal genre.
Okay.
But it's an album that when I just went back to it, I'm like, holy shit, this is really fucking good. And
Hold on, I think I might actually know what this is. I have to fucking remember the name of the band.
Dude, there's no. If you guess this, I don't know what I'd give you, but. And I don't know why I went back to listen to it. It was just kind of random. Like, I was like, I want to listen to this. And then I was like, holy fuck, this is so good.
I have no idea.
And it ties into, we talked a lot about music last week. So, I've just been seeing, you know, like everybody shits on nu metal, which rightfully so. A lot of it is fucking horrible. But this is like a nu metal band that's like,
It's not Deftones, is it?
no. That's too popular, like for me to like say you'd never guess it. That's why I don't think you could guess.
I have a song in my head. I swear I think you showed it to me when I was younger. That's why I want to guess it, but I can't remember what it's fucking called.
There's this would have been a band I probably haven't listened to since I was like 12 years old.
or
13
okay,
years
maybe
old.
not then.
I'll drop one hint if you guess it from this.
It's
part,
not Linkin Park.
No.
No.
It's an all-female band.
Oh, okay,
So-
never mind. I have no idea.
Fucking Kitty. Did you guys ever listen to Kitty? The song Brackish from them
Kitty?
used to be on the radio all the time.
No, I've never heard of Kitty.
Fuck. That album is their first album called Spit is so good.
Really?
Yeah, and I think at the time when they came out, it's the same time like Korn and Slipknot are going mainstream and stuff, and I think you look at them and you're like, oh, it's an all-girl like Slipknot thing or something. So I think a lot of people dismissed it, but you find out they were like a legit band. They met in school, and it's not a record company push. They're legit. It's so fucking good. And
I'll have to listen.
I think I don't know about you, Denny, because it's pretty old, but I think if you heard Brackish, I think you would. The song Brackish, you might remember it. I don't know. It used to be on the radio.
I'm sure I probably would.
So it was-
I'm so fucking retarded
it
when
was,
it comes to retaining that information.
Well, no, I completely forgot they even existed.
Yeah.
Like maybe once in high school, sometime I heard one of their other albums, or I saw them live at some show. I don't remember, but just I got hit with this wave of nostalgia, and so I went back and I listened to like their first album, which was kind of nu metal, and then their other stuff is not nu metal. After that, it's kind of more heavier. It's just heavier, but the first album still holds up, and it even for it being nu metal is still good. I was like, holy shit, this is good stuff. They had a whole bunch of songs. I want to say Paper Doll was on the radio back then too, but I don't know. I just remember that song.
On last week's subject, you talking about like not wanting to like listen to music that like pumps you up, you know, be zen or whatever.
Right.
There's one song. It's every time I think about like my top 5 songs in my life, this one is always like in the conversation. It's a song called Deadly Sinners by 3 Inches of Blood.
I don't know this at all.
Oh my God. They're a Canadian band, and they have 2 lead singers or vocalists or whatever you want to call it. It is the most insane, like, I don't know if you want to call it like math metal, Viking metal, whatever.
Wait, I know this song. This was
You know
on,
that one?
Yeah, this song was in Tony Hawk's Underground.
Wait, was it?
Yeah, I played the shit out of that game. I just started
I've played
listening
that
to it.
game-
I'm like, I know this shit.
I've played that game too, but I don't remember any of the
It's
music in it.
such an amazing song. If you can't, like, there's no way to, like, not get pumped up listening to it. Like, it will drive you to insanity.
Dude, I'm gonna have to check that out.
It's so good.
I'm very close to like playing the first riff from that Kitty song just to see if you even remember it.
Oh yeah.
But like I don't want to waste everybody's time if nobody fucking remembers what I'm talking about. But it's on YouTube, so I know it wasn't a fever dream. Like, I know it was like legit. Like I won't play the whole song or anything like that because I know people don't care. But I just like
while we're on the topic of crazy good music, there is a band called Ginger, Ginger.
Yes, I listened to them quite a bit.
Do you? Okay, so you heard the song Pisces?
Yep.
Yeah. So the lead singer, fucking Tatiana. JR, if you've never heard of them, you'll definitely want to give them a listen because I think
her voice, her vocal range is insane.
Fucking sane. Like actually absurd. So
she
if
has
you've
like
never
legit
heard of Ginger,
growls.
you should definitely listen to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm just gonna play that opening riff. But if this initial part here doesn't even like spark it, you probably don't remember it. But they're fucking
No, but
legit.
I'm fucking into it.
Yeah,
I'm way into it.
It's
Fuck
so
yeah.
good. I'm gonna try to find that chorus.
No, I'm fucking.
This song was huge when I was like, I must have been like 12 or something. And
I'm way into that shit.
so like initially, I better just post that in the Discord too. But like I was initially into it because I was like 12 and they were girls, so I was like, ooh, this makes my pee-pee tingle. But like going back now, I'm like, they're fucking like legitimately talented.
Yeah.
Like, holy fucking shit. They apparently like wrote this whole album when they were teens, like 15.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah,
So I just went on an obscure music trip this week. I started going through their whole discography, and they have a documentary out too, but I didn't watch it yet.
My new metal veins don't go very deep, but like,
mine don't either.
I'm fucking way into that shit.
Because this shit wasn't. I mean, this was on the radio and stuff. Like it wasn't. It was fairly mainstream. I just don't think they took off.
Yeah.
I think people thought they were gimmicky and they didn't actually see how fucking talented they were. Because I mean, this is the same time they're going right up against the direct comparison to like Korn and Slipknot.
Korn,
right at their
yeah, I was
height.
gonna say it sounds
Like,
kind of Mudvayne
right.
and
Yeah, so
yeah,
there's a lot of the same sound at the time. But if you go back, like this shit still holds up.
yeah.
Yeah, their stuff still holds up. Where
Fuck
like the
yeah.
other stuff kind of sounds like dated. This it's my jam. That's a bop right there.
Do you like Tool, JR?
I don't go very deep with Tool. I do like them. Man, when you guys got into the conversation last week about like, oh, I listen to everything, type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could have Slick go through my library right now, and like, there's some deep tracks that I enjoy, but I don't go deep into any artist particularly.
I gotcha.
I'll listen to everything, but yeah, I like Tool.
Okay. Yeah, I was curious because a lot of the hardcore Tool fans that I've met over the years don't like the new album that they put out. They took a break from 2006 was when they dropped Anima, and then 2018 was when the new album came out, and a lot of people don't like it, but I've listened to it probably like a couple dozen times now, and I have really warmed up to it. It's probably like my second or third favorite album of theirs now, specifically just a couple of songs that are so fucking well put together that even like an acolyte in music like myself can appreciate the amount of effort that went into it.
Yeah.
Like, their drummer, Danny Carey, is so fucking insane that it's just hard to believe the shit he can do. Like, the guy does polyrhythms non-fucking stop that lead back into riffs that then lead back into polyrhythms. His fills are top fucking notch. And then to top it off, he's like in his early fucking 60s, I think, or late 50s.
Jesus.
Like, the dude plays like a fucking mastermind. It's crazy.
That's nuts.
I like the first Tool album, but I didn't like. I don't know.
What,
I just
Undertow?
never was like, yeah, or whichever one had they had that big video that was on fucking MTV and it was on the radio all the time. I forget the name. Schism? Wasn't the name of the song?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like at that time I listened to Tool a lot, but I know I didn't like. It's kind of weird for how diverse, like kind of what was just hinted at. Like I'm very diverse in my tastes. I do try to find a lot of obscure artists. Like I do dig for artists, but I don't get too deep with any like one particular artist. I go on these like autistic jaunts where I like consume everything they've put out, and then I go to another artist or like something. I don't know. Like
Dude, the other thing that got me super stoked about last week's episode was going on the Florida rap.
Oh,
Puya, dude, he's awesome.
Dude, he's awesome. But I think the other guys that he works with, like I think Shakewell is one of my favorite rappers of all time. And I don't say that shit lightly. Like I've been around now for a long time, and I've done the shit myself. I think he's one of like the best I've ever heard. Like I don't just say like I when I say that kind of stuff, of course it's personal. Like I'm not saying he's the most technical rapper, most verbose or whatever. Everything he makes, I like. I vibe with. I enjoy it, and I put him up there with like my favorite things I've ever heard from any style of rap, any subgenre of rap, whatever you want, however you want to subdivide. He's just like I love everything he does.
Him and Fat Nick. I love Fat Nick.
Right.
I know his style is pretty repetitive, like from song to song, but there's something that the little stank that he puts on there.
I saw a Fat Nick, or I listened to Fat Nick shit. I won't say he wasn't like popping, but he was probably not that well known at the time, and I was searching dumb phrases online.
Yeah.
So I would search things I used to write, like I had a lyric, like sometimes I would search my own lyrics to make sure other people hadn't done similar things.
Yeah.
And like so I would search polo socks. And then I found like that there was like some rapper named Oliver who had a whole song called like Polo Socks or something like that. So I found it and I went on this like trail down that way. Yeah. I was searching lyrics I wrote, and I like early 2000s sometime, and I found a Fat Nick song. Yeah, because it had a title similar to something I had written in a rhyme. So it's just kind of a weird. I actually found him before I saw anybody else, really, except maybe Puya. I don't remember. But
Puya, that's his style. I mean, I liken it to like Bone Thugs and Harmony.
That's what that whole kind of scene is like. 3-6 Mafia, Bone Thugs. Like
but he does it in such an amazing way. Like, it's his own style, but you can tell where his influence comes from. But he does such a good job.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he's amazing. That whole I didn't think anybody around here knew anything about South Florida rap.
That's about all the shit I listen to. Yeah, those guys, and white people are about to ruin funk. So. And just in case you guys don't know what that is, like there's like a whole style of Memphis rap, which you guys are probably surface level familiar with, kind of like 3-6 Mafia style stuff. Yeah. But they have like these kind of sped up beats and these grimy vocals, and it's been a thing since like the 90s. But it's kind of like, do you remember how like white people, they take a genre and run it into the ground? Yeah. So like you had like trap music forever. It was always a thing, and then white people made it into like an EDM genre. They're gonna do the same thing with Memphis funk here. Like they're gonna turn it into an EDM genre and fucking ruin it. But you'll see that coming soon.
Boy, that's fucking lame.
It's those super fast kind of like trill beats. Like it's like a Suicide Boys beat, but they're gonna turn that kind of shit into like some EDM garbage.
Mm-hmm. While we're on that topic, what did you guys think of the newest Vinny Paz album?
Which, you know what? I have to be 100% honest. Which one?
It was Burn Everything That Bears Your Name. It came out in I want to say May of this year.
I think I only listened to a couple tracks and I thought they were okay.
Okay. I kind of thought the
that
same thing. I've listened to it a few times now, and I like it a lot more. But the spiral that I've gone down with like JMT and Vinny and Apathy and Self and all those guys, I kind of feel, and I might get fucking hung from the cross for this, but I kind of feel like they are slowly starting to just pump out music for the sake of pumping out music rather than like I don't know, because
I
like
agree.
you
I
listen
agree with
to
that.
yeah, like you listen to
All their
old
shit, the last
JMT,
few albums have sounded the same for whatever reason. It's
yeah,
like it's just one double EP that they've released as single
hmm
LPs or some shit, whatever, one double LP. But yeah,
yeah, because
So
like
I
yeah, go ahead.
Jedi Mind Tricks was like my favorite like rap group coming up. So to preface it, I was about probably 16 years old the first time I fucking heard it, and I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck is this shit?" And then it was like it was not long after Violent by Design came out, their second album,
Hmm.
and I was like, "Oh," and so nobody knew who the fuck they were around here, especially around here.
Right.
But they weren't. I mean, they were big enough to have like be on a label and have albums, but I had to like special order the album to get it here, and I
yeah.
it changed my entire life.
yeah.
And so I always have the respect for that, and so how I'll say is I think maybe Vinny Paz is just ahead of me. Like, so what I mean is when the next Jedi Mind Tricks album came out, Visions of Gandhi, after that one, I did not like it at the time. But
Okay.
even just yesterday, I went back to listen to What's Really Good. I actually love that song off there.
Yeah.
And it was kind of the same thing when he put out his first solo album, like whatever it was called, Season of the Assassin.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just not feeling it. And then
Yeah.
now I go back and I listen to it. I'm like, dude, this is so fucking good. And then I think some of the stuff he's done more recently, like Cheesesteaks and stuff, were some of the best things he's ever done.
Yeah.
So
I was just about to say the God of the Serengeti album is probably my favorite out of that whole group. That's the best, maybe the best solo rap album I've ever heard of all time, because I think he only has a few different features on there, and most of them are from other dudes in that sort of group, like RA,
Right.
La Coca Nostra, and
what I can't
like
do,
just people that they usually bang with. There's no one huge on there. Whereas
Right.
now, like he had a song with like Joey Badass, and he had a couple other songs with like these other big names. And it's not selling out by any means, but it does feel like they're just making music for the sake
Well,
of making music.
he did a
I think
song
there's
with
a different
Pusha
type
T,
of
didn't he?
style when it comes to. I might be biased a little bit because I'm used to him running with Stoop, and
Yeah.
going back to what was mentioned as well. Like I had to get the first project I got from them was the psychosocial.
Hmm.
Biological of it's that whole I don't even want to try to finish that. I can't remember how that's all
Yeah.
put together. Yeah, it was back when they were on Super Regular Records, and I had to get that off of sandboxautomatic.com, I think it was at the time. And this was like an online like record shop where there wasn't photos on there. They just had a link of like what the project was. You clicked on it, you could see what the rundowns was, you could add it to a cart, and then they just send it to you. That's how I stumbled across it. But I mean, so some of it is I know like with his recent stuff, it's just wanting to hear certain producers because he sounds the best with it, and then I know it's nice to hear him bring in new shit. So that's probably maybe where the bias is I'm wanting more JMT sort
Yeah.
of
Right.
content, and I know when he's outside of that realm because his stuff with Kill Bill, Heavy Metal Kings, that's a whole different type of genre type of shit. So I mean, he's got different. I feel like different things that he speaks on with different projects or different like where he's solo or when he's with somebody else or when he's with Stoop. But it's become a thing though too where it just feels like they're reaching for
I-
something that maybe isn't there anymore. I don't know, and maybe it's just because it's just society now isn't paying attention as much as they were
His-
one time, or I don't know what it is, but.
His last song, what was it called? Like I Am Chaos or whatever?
Right.
That
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
fucking slaps.
Yeah, like some of it's still really good.
But
and-
yeah, like when I think all those guys do really good like individually or with like one feature, but when they try to do like the big conglomeration of shit,
I was gonna say I cannot go back to any of those AOTP albums.
Yeah.
They are so fucking cheesy to me.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, the big ciphers and stuff that they
Yeah,
used to
It's
do.
like a
they
sign
don't-
of the times, you know,
Right.
like they're super like dated.
But even at the time, I didn't like them.
No, I wasn't.
You just have like dudes dropping fire verses and dudes dropping half-ass shit, or just like their style doesn't really mesh. And
D-Maz and some of those guys. Not saying that they didn't
Yeah.
have dope verses on some, but it's like you went from like you had one where it was like, all right, you had some cohesiveness, and then you had someone coming in with some like left field shit, or they'd say something. Some of those guys, I feel like you could tell some of the features where they were just trying to come up with the wildest shit to say because they knew that they
Right.
had to try to match what everybody else was saying. But then
Yeah,
when you heard them say it,
exactly.
you could tell it was outside their normal wheelhouse. Like, all right, you sound like you're reaching, whereas like cats like Vinny Paz and some of these other cats, you could tell like they're studied and they know what they're saying, and you can feel that when they're saying it too. I mean, I think not to jump back and forth, but a lot of the stuff he did with Sea Lance I did like too, because it was that heavy hitting, high energy shit, and that darker shit too, had a drive to it too. So I think, it would be nice to see him either, the shit he did with, Premier and some of these other cats. Like, I don't know. I just like him with just one producer. I don't know what it is. That's just,
Yeah, him and Stu are so legendary together that I get why they had to go separate ways for a while, but yeah, like you go back and you listen to like Violent by Design, like Slick was saying, or
so
yeah,
I had
or
a
like God of the
discussion
Serengeti. It's just so fucking good.
in 2005 or 2006. I had a discussion with a guy who's a DJ around here, and what he said at the time, I think it it still stands today. He because we were talking about this kind of almost the same discussion where it's now 2021. I was having in like 2005, where we didn't like the direction of some of the new stuff, and he goes, but it doesn't matter because he did the psychosocial LP or EP or whatever the fuck, and because he did that and he spoke on that shit, and then whatever. Now he's like free if he wants to do fucking gangster rap albums, just fucking let him. He spoke on his real shit.
Yeah.
He put out a whole album. Now he can do whatever he wants. And then I was kind of like, all right, I see that. You do one album where you drop knowledge, and then from that point on you've dropped knowledge. You can do whatever you want. Like, you're free. So
I was back when he used to go by
theory too about him going like with some of the darker shit, because he still drops a lot of like knowledge and content in that too. When
Right.
people are like, he's weaving that in there too because it keeps people off his ass. Because when he was just
Right.
more on like that quote unquote, metaphysical spiritual tip, you would have people come at him, if you can weave it in with that darker shit, he knows a certain audience won't listen, or else, you know what I
Right.
mean? It's like he has a way where he can kind of get that shit out there without blatantly be one-sided. It's kind of like I can reach all sides of the spectrum, and weaving it in and just not have to worry about playing to a certain like ideology with some of the shit that he was saying, and worry about some sort of kickback.
right.
If there's one thing you can say, I mean, about everything he does is different. So he's never just stale. Even if some of it's not what we like, it's all different. Pretty much not one album sounds exactly like the other.
No.
Yeah, that goes
So-
double for JMT too. Specifically, I think like
Every single
really
one of their
didn't-
albums is different.
yeah, I really wasn't a huge fan of what the fuck was the album? The Ritual of Bat. No, that's AOTP. What is it? Oh yeah, The Thief and the Fallen. I wasn't
yeah.
a big fan of that one. There was a couple songs in there that were good, but then this newest one, The Bridge in the Abyss, I've listened to a song on there pretty regularly, and yeah, I mean I don't know if I'd say they all sound different. There is definitely like a flow and a pace that they keep that keeps things regular.
Sure.
But I think the subject matter and a lot of the one thing that Vinny's really good at is, I think, relating his music to whatever he's dealing with in life. So
Yes.
right around that time of like Thief and the Fallen, I know he was dealing with or not dealing with, but I think his son was just born, or maybe that was a few years prior. But a lot of that shit was like familial, and I think maybe that's why I didn't catch along with it as much, because I was kind of going into it with different expectations.
Could be.
Then like Bridge in the Abyss, he kind of came back and started doing more of like what Aquarius was saying, just kind of dropping knowledge and and like weaving it in. He's really good at like talking about super gangster, like I'll cut you up and split you 9 ways, and then esoteric fucking Cthulhu-esque verses right after that,
Right.
talking about pagan rituals and shit. Like I love that shit so
Yeah.
much,
So-
man.
We'll hear him do a project like he did with Just Allah, like Violent by Design, where he was like a steady feature, but do that shit with Chris Rivers, with Big Pun Son, because I just think some of that shit, like it made me think of when you mentioned like God of the Serengeti, and then there was one of the other albums too that he had him on as a feature too, and like the songs were just, I don't know, it just feel like they brought the best out of each other. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, Carry On Tradition was another one. Yeah.
yeah. So
I forgot what I was gonna say. I had something I was gonna say about that. Oh well.
You know what
Such is the
album?
way.
I don't want to admit that I've been.
Oh
Kinda-
my god.
Huh?
Oh my god. Uh-oh.
Hit it.
That's my fucking. Doja Cat.
Oh, she's
Okay.
dope. Dude, she's dope.
Dude, whatever album, I don't even know which one it is. I don't know if she's got more than one. Fuck.
The first song I ever heard by her was like
Planet
4
Her.
or 5 years ago with like that song Trauma.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this shit slaps. And that was
You guys know
and then
she
I-
used to like shit post on B and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know. That's why
Yeah.
she's dope. She got to pass forever. I don't give a fuck.
I don't know
But-
if she's dope. She
Dude, no.
There's a
Dude,
lot of-
girls with
no,
girls with
listen, there's a
bipolar
lot of-
disorder are dope.
you gotta pass forever.
There's some degenerate shit I could go into about Doja Cat, like the whole she was in racial chat rooms posting feet.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with
Yeah,
that.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no, I know
Yeah.
all about this. That's why, dude. That's why I said she's dope. She got to pass forever.
I didn't
I'll
know.
hand that shit out. I
makes
stamped
you
it,
dope.
verified.
Okay, that's
She's-
different. That's different.
She's good
Okay.
to go.
I didn't know any of this. I listen. I was driving. Picked up my kid from preschool, driving home, and I heard this song. I was like, "Oh, this is kind of good," and I like Shazammed it or whatever to figure out what the fuck it was. I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay," and then digged into her last album. I was like, "Okay, there's a few slaps on this track or on this album. I dig it." And then I did a quick Google search, and I'm like, "Oh, she's like wearing cat ears on a Discord call, like cuddling up, dropping N-bombs." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
a.
or going on, or going on Instagram Live wearing a full suit of chainmail and reading like ancient poetry. She's
Yeah.
cool, but she does some shit sometimes that's just like she's obviously just like
Well,
the fucking
she's no
pick me
Azalea
girl type
Banks.
thing.
Okay, she's no Azalea Banks.
True.
So, fucking, you want to talk about like questionable shit? Azalea Banks. First off, that like fucking 212 is a banger. Like she can rap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's fucking
100%.
dope. Holy fuck, is that bitch nuts?
Yeah.
Like fucking no way. Like that's why I say like Doja Cat gets a pass for life. Like she could just stop making music and hang out. Like she's tight.
Yeah.
Azalea Banks is like a fucking like I don't know what she is, some kind of voodoo priestess or whatever, like cutting chickens in her closet. Like no.
Maybe I'm just mad because she said on a tweet once that if her song got like 100 million plays on Spotify, she'd show titty, and then she never followed up.
Azalea or Doja Cat?
Doja Cat.
For me, I can see how that's disappointing, but I like I think you would be disappointed. You know what I mean?
Think so?
I bet they hang.
Probably.
Like
Probably.
you probably
Yeah,
just
yeah.
she probably looks better in clothes. It's better to have
Yeah, journey
that.
before destination, right?
Right.
Oh, I'm gonna circle this back around to what I said to put a pin in earlier.
Okay.
Talking about hangers.
Hangers. Let's go.
Oh my god.
I bet you saw some hangers over the weekend.
Holy shit. So okay, here we go. We're going duck hunting. This past weekend. We finish up, make dinner, and we're like, all right, let's drive 35 miles to the strip club. It's the only strip club probably within 150 miles. We pull up to the place. It's all lit up. There's 2 cars in the parking lot. 3 dudes sitting in the parking lot. One guy's name was Bob. He was probably the closest thing you get to like a pastor. Like wouldn't drink, wouldn't say much, wore glasses, had his shirt buttoned all the way up to the top. Super nice fella. Kind of creepy. There was Doug, who I nicknamed Two Stroke because you fire him up, he just fucking takes off. Just would not stop talking about anything, laughing at his own fucking jokes, like the dumbest things, and just loud as shit. And then there was Stan, the owner of the strip club. We pull up and we hop out of the truck. And our first thought is like, fuck, I thought we were going to be the only ones here. You know, it's a Saturday night. There's not shit going on. It's, you know, opening duck weekend. There's nobody around. We're like, fuck, we're going to have to share the stage with these guys or whatever. We were hoping it'd be, you know, one-on-one, and we hop out. And Stan, he's in his big overalls, got a white gray beard, trucker hat on. He's like, hey boys, did you bring the girls with you? And we're like, no, we were hoping they were here. And like, nope, they're not here yet. It's like, holy shit, it's like 9:30. We're at the strip club and there's no girls. We're like, oh, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, they'll be here about 10 o'clock. It's like, okay. Well, so we pull the truck around, back it up to the front door, drop the tailgate, and we just start drinking with these three guys. Stan's the owner of the place. An amazing dude. We were sitting there, it got to be close to 10, and he called the strippers, and he's like, hey, where are you guys at? They're driving from like 3 hours away to come to this spot.
In the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
Yeah. And they're like, hey, where are you guys at? And they're like, we're like 7 miles away. Like, we'll be there in no time. Just don't worry about it. It's like, okay, fine. And so we just keep drinking, talking with Stan. Super nice dude. His house, I didn't realize this the last time I went there. His house is connected to the backside of the strip club. So you can.
So it's like a rectory.
You can. No, I'm not even joking. He has trailers out back of his house.
The church connected to the rectory. No? That's
seriously. Seriously. You walk past the stage. You go through a door. It's his fucking kitchen. You go through another door. It's his fucking living room. And he's got security cameras and monitors and all this shit set up. We go back, like, because he's like, yeah, come back. Because he's like, oh, let's go take a shot. And we go back in his house, fucking hanging out. And yeah, he has trailers, like campers set up behind his house for the strippers. So they can drive all the way from wherever they come or fly them in from wherever they come. And they got a place to stay out behind his house.
Dude, this dude's tight.
Dude, there's fucking, in the strip club, like, there's lasers and a smoke machine, fucking brass poles, stripper pole, like this huge stage, and then there's fucking deer mounts, fucking walleye mounts, pheasants, geese, all hanging on the fucking walls. It's the most glorious place you've ever seen.
It sounds like Valhalla. Like this sounds like fucking Midwestern Valhalla, dude.
It's insane. So we're just hanging out, drinking with him, and then we get to talking to him, and my buddy's like, yeah, fucking Stan here, he's because he offered me a vape pen with like weed in it, and he's like, yeah, no, I'm way into smoking dope. I used to grow the shit back in the day. I was like, oh, really? And we start talking. The dude had, his claim was the largest illegal grow operation in the United States to this day.
Oh, really?
Busted by the feds. And I was like, well, I wouldn't have believed it. 'Cause it happened in 1978 or something like that.
Oh, I'm gonna have to pull up the Google.
Yeah, try and find it. I tried to Google it. I'm not very good at this shit.
Well, that's pretty old. Where like there might not be.
So that's what I was like. What the fuck? He had a framed picture of his grow operation in his kitchen next to his fridge that he got from the federal government because of the court case. Like this was like old school, like crop duster airplane going over his property, taking pictures. And he was breaking down each individual rows, all the different like sativas and indicas and all this shit. I was like, holy fuck, this is fucking nuts. It's so crazy. And he wouldn't admit to it, but my buddy who's been there a ton of times, spent a bunch of time with Stan, said he used to, and before I knew this, we were talking about it, he used to fly hot air balloons. And him and I were talking about it because I watched some random documentary on PBS about hot air balloons. And I was talking to him about like different companies, you know, who used to manufacture it and blah, blah, blah. Or manufacture hot air balloons. And he's like, oh, yeah, I used to run some of theirs and I had those companies and blah, blah, blah. And apparently he used to fly hot air balloons between here and Canada, dropping packages of weed off along the way. He would have connections and be like, hey, I'm gonna drop a brick here.
Hot air balloon delivery.
Yeah. And he would go
like
back
that
and forth.
Jackie Chan movie that
Around the World in 80
Around
Days.
the World in 80 Days.
Yeah.
That's so sick, bro.
He would bounce between Canada and the US, dropping off fucking weed for these people. And he would grow it all himself and do all this. It's just like, holy shit.
Dude,
That
that's
legit
awesome.
sounds like a fucking. It sounds like a like the beginning to a Stephen King novel.
Dude, and guess what? The strippers haven't even showed up yet. I figured all this out before the girl, and we ended up. Well, I got my $2 bills because that's all the exchanges. That's probably the most interesting part. But there was one stripper. Okay. Oh, okay. No, I lied. This is kind of interesting. We're sitting out in front of the strip club drinking with Stan and his two buddies, and it's me and my two buddies just bullshitting. And there's a truck that pulled up, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's them. And my buddy's like, no, the strippers are gonna be. It's on a corner, so he's like, the strippers are gonna be coming from the east. And we're like, okay, and that truck came from the south. It's like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. Fucking 2 minutes later, a car comes in going like 90 miles an hour into this gravel parking lot. Fucking rips in and drives straight to the back where the trailers are. Like they've been there 100 times before. Turns out they got pulled over by the cops doing like 130 trying to get to the strip club. It's like, okay, so they walk by us and they're going in, getting ready. And me and my buddies are sitting at the stage bullshitting. And a few other guys come in and they're standing at the like bouncer table to like pay their cover charge and get their $2 bills. And they're standing there for like 5-10 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck? So me, being Stan's best buddy now, just walks into his house and be like, hey, Stan, you got some patrons. They want to come in. He's like, oh, yep, I'll be right there. You want a shot? And I was like, yep, sure. Hit a shot with the owner of the strip club, go back out. These guys pay their fucking money. And I'll cut this short because the rest is just boring strip club shit. But my one buddy he's trying to negotiate a blowjob from one of the strippers. And it turns out the strippers are sisters.
Oh.
Okay.
And they're both tripping balls on mushrooms.
Okay.
And they're like bouncing around. They're clearly fucked up, like as I would expect any stripper to be, but like they are so fucked up, just like mushroom fucked up, like getting distracted, like spending super long times in like one spot talking to one person about bullshit, like not even trying to make money, like they're just like flopping their titties around, like yeah, and like rubbing their coochies in people's faces, like straight up buttholes, like pulling their thongs to the side and rubbing their buttholes on dudes' foreheads. And I'm just like,
Somebody got pink eye.
yeah, it's fucking nuts. And then I was kind of being like the half-ass sober one for this whole thing because I knew we had to drive like 35 miles back to the shack. And I told my buddies, I was like, all right, it's time to go. My one buddy was lobbying hard for a fucking blowjob, and the stripper just kept getting distracted because she's on mushrooms and trying to make money off these other dudes. And
He's trying to petition the super PAC for more funding.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
Like,
He's
she's
like,
just
I got
fucking blasted off of sativa.
Yeah, it's like I got $100 bill right here. Let's go. Fucking back room. And she's like, oh yeah, I'll be right there. And then another song and another song and another song. It's like, all right, boys, we gotta go. It's fucking 2:00 in the morning. We gotta get back. We're waking up at fucking 3 to go duck hunting. And we're starting to leave, and the fucking one of the strippers, the better looking of the sisters, jumps in the backseat of the truck wearing nothing but a thong. And it's like, you guys can't leave? And it's like, yeah, we're fucking leaving. We're over this. We tried to work something out with you. You weren't having any part of it. And she's like, well, can I just come back with you guys? It's like, oh my God. No.
No, thank you.
Woman. No. We're not driving 35 miles to our place, and then you have to drive, or we have to drive you back to the fucking strip club 4:00 in the morning so you can go home.
Sure, but there's no pancakes.
Oh my God. It was fucking retarded. And being like half-ass sober, it was funny to watch, but it was also kind of fucking annoying.
Annoying.
Because my one buddy was like, dude, put the truck in drive, open the door, and kick her out. Let's fucking go. And I was like, dude, she's still a human being. I know she's a mushroomed out fucking stripper, but I can't just like attempted manslaughter this woman. Like, I'm not just gonna push her out of the truck and drive away. No.
I love the idea of attempted manslaughter. Like, oh, I attempted to
accidentally.
Yeah.
I attempted.
Yeah.
So like, but how did you have to like? Was it a fight to get her out of the truck, or was she just like?
I was calm. She didn't want to leave. She was insistent. She's like, she was in the backseat with one of my other buddies, and she kind of fancied him, and she's like, take my number. And he's like, no, I don't want your fucking number. And she's like, take my number. When you come back, I got a hot tub. I'll take you shopping. I make all that money. Don't worry about it. Let's just call me. And I was like, okay, fine. I was like, what's your number? And I just texted it to my buddy. I was like, okay, I got your number. He'll call you. Get the fuck out of the truck. She's like, are you sure? And she started playing with her tits and like grabbed a beer out of the cooler and was like, get out of the truck.
Yeah.
Get out of the truck. Fuck. But yeah, we made it out of there okay.
Jesus.
It was a good weekend. I'm going to pull the white guy move and count all the booze that we drank. So Friday, we left with 230 racks and a 12-pack, a bottle of Fireball, a bottle of Jim Beam, a bottle of vodka, and a half a 175 of Pendleton. We drank the last 6 beers in my buddy's driveway. They all got drank between Friday and Sunday.
It's a lot.
There you go.
Oh my God. We were drunk the whole fucking time. Shooting ducks.
I don't know how I couldn't even do it, dude. I just can't drink anymore like that. Like to be drunk that entire time.
I had a 6-pack of IPA the other night, and I got fucking top 5 easily. I was so fucking blasted. My tolerance is gone completely. When I was living in Cleveland, I was drinking like every night, but yeah.
We had so at this place that we stay, they have an old ambulance that they converted into like a short bus for like hunters.
You're going to say retards?
Well, I mean, basically, yeah. That's what we were. We had 2 coolers in this fucking thing full of like decoys and guns and ammunition. It barely fucking run. It had such a bad exhaust leak. Like halfway through Saturday, we were like dying of diesel fumes. Like our heads hurt so bad, and all the windows were broken, so you couldn't open them. It was just a fucking coffin.
You're lucky you didn't die.
Yeah.
As I say, it sounds like a fucking saw trap.
Yeah, it was fucking brutal, but we had so much fucking fun.
Sounds like a CIA execution method.
It was retarded. It was the most fun I've had in a long time, but fuck. We drank so goddamn much. Oh yeah, but one of the strippers' titties was like
Hangers?
They tube socks filled with mercury. It was not
Oh, know. That mental picture you just painted kind
Yeah.
of made me.
Like that's what they were.
Shoulder boulder holders, huh?
Dude, seriously. And she loved to slap you with them.
It's hilarious.
She would grab him
God.
like
that's gross.
imagine like doing the helicopter with your dick, like grabbing it by the base and like winging it around.
Right.
She would do that with both her tits, like right in your face. Like, yeah, this is really sexy. And just like grab them and like slap your face with them. Like,
See, I just can't. I'm just not. I can't even do it for the lulz, man. I can't even get into that scene.
Trust me, it was more fun sitting and bullshitting with Stan and Two Stroke and Bob. Like that was way more fun than actually seeing the boobies. Like, period. I'm not into it. And some of the dudes that were there, they're so fucking desperate and
Right.
It's just like, you guys got it all fucking wrong.
See, like I just can't. I can't get down with that like level of desperation.
Yeah.
Like even when I was like super fat, I always had at least one girl like around me. Like,
Yeah.
I would when I go to like the one time I'd been to a strip club and I just saw like the desperation.
Yeah.
Like people like hooting and hollering and throwing like I'm just like, dude, this is
Like, how much money?
I don't have to pay for this.
Yeah. How much money are you going to spend just to look at fucking titties?
I will not throw $1 at your titties.
Yeah.
I can.
I wonder how far back that dates. I wonder if like in like the Greco-Roman eras when they had like pleasure houses, if there were like cucks and simps back then too that were just like trying their hardest to get like this Amazonian bad bitch to like
I'm
just
sure.
fucking
Dude.
tickle their butthole for a while.
As
they were,
soon
like,
as
handing
Krug
over
figured out
older
that
blue-
some woman would show him her tits
for shiny rock.
for a shiny rock. Yeah.
Krug
I
shiny
only
rock.
have
You
4
show
shiny
titty.
rocks
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
2 shiny rock. You show us.
Yeah. Half and half. 4 shiny rocks.
I will not be able to afford cave this month.
Yeah.
All shiny rock depletion.
Krug be your quartz daddy.
Oh, fucking A.
Fucking wild time. So we were waiting for these other 2 girls, and Stan was like, I got one more coming. She's a medium. She's really good at sounding. So hang on. It's Michelle
No
Obama.
way.
No.
You had Michelle
way.
Obama show up to the spot.
No. She called in late. She
She
said
called
couldn't
in
make-
again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
One
But
of these
what-
days, we're gonna get her to.
I'm gonna
to
find
show
her.
herself.
right. And so, maybe next week. She also was a no-show with the Ouija board, so
We'll get her
We'll
one
see.
of these days.